Knowles.
Knowles.
Like Beyonce.
Like Beyonce. I see the resemblance.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the white sheep of the family.
You're the one problem that Jay-Z had, right?
Yeah.
I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I'm loading the meat. I don't even know what it means, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. Hey, I'm unloading the meat. I'm loading 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 the meat.
Hey guys, this episode is not brought to you by a mobile game like Best Fiends. You know, it's like Friends, but take out that R. What are they trying to say? The R's for like, is the R word? Is it an R word? Can we say R word? Can we hint at the word? Take out the R. Oh, Fiends, Friends. That's fucking retarded. All right, guys, welcome to the next episode of Unloading Meat. I am so honored to have this next guest on my couch. He is doing a great job at Looney Bin this week. Give it up for the one, the only, Erik Knowles. What's up, Erik?
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Thank you for graciously coming to Bartlesville, man, and being on the show.
Absolutely, man.
It's the ultimate goal of this podcast is I think I told you in Messenger was just I want to have touring comedians and people that are coming in through Tulsa be able to stop in here and promote and just, get to know them. And I'm so honored to have you on here, and thank you for reaching out.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I'm glad I found you.
Yeah. The magic of Facebook.
Yeah, right. We're still holding on. Man.
I know.
Facebook still works.
Yeah.
For us old people.
Well, I was shocked by that because I have a Twitter, I have Instagram and all that stuff, and I was doing that when I started launching this podcast, and then when I got back into stand-up this year for the Tulsa area, everything's run on Facebook still. And so,
really?
Yeah, like everything here in this area is fit through Facebook.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
For some reason. I don't know.
It's the demographic.
Yeah. Well, I was just wanting to promote my shows, and Facebook has the groups.
Yeah.
And there's always a local, I'm just punched in Tulsa.
Yeah.
And groups.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of weird ones,
Yeah, there's comedy rejects. There's a whole bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
We're an odd bunch.
Well, everybody is, yeah.
It's true. Well, man, so where are you from?
I'm from Southeast Texas. I live near Beaumont.
Nice.
Which is way down there, almost Louisiana. I live out in the woods. Yeah.
I used to work in Shreveport for a bit.
Okay, yeah.
So Shreveport and then Taos. I was a district manager for a cell phone company, and I had stores between Oklahoma, Texas, and Louisiana. I was doing that trip multiple times a month.
Okay, bragger. All right.
I mean, I got fired from it. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a humble brag, I guess.
Don't be flexing on me, bro.
Yeah, I got a tour with T-Mobile. the fourth largest carrier in the U.S.
What happened to your tour? You ran out of minutes?
AT&T was going to buy it out, and then it didn't work through. Something about 5G towers.
Oh, shit. Well, let's not go down that road.
So, man, how you enjoying Tulsa so far?
Man, it's been cool. The Looney Bin, they used to have a house that they would put all the comics in, which I loved. I loved playing Looney Bins. And they had 4 locations.
Yeah.
And there's this guy, Jeff, who used to own all of them. He passed away during COVID. But he owned a house in each town, and they would put all 3 comedians in there, the opener, the feature, and the headliner. He owned a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom house in each town. And you would spend all weekend there with all the comics. And it was cool. It was like some kind of little reality show for the weekend. We took 3 comics that don't know each other and put them in a house. That would have made a great reality show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like a nice little camp out, and get to meet new people. But now they put us in a hotel, which is a really nice hotel. But I just hate it because it's I'm waiting till 7:30 at night for the first show. You just have all day to just sit around the hotel or find something to do, which is why I reached out. And I always try to find a local podcast that's recorded locally.
Yeah.
And luckily I found yours.
Well, I'm appreciative of it, man.
But it's been cool. I haven't done much in Tulsa. Went and got some deep dish pizza.
I saw your live stream of it, or your clip of it.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was really good.
Really good?
It was really good. I'm just trying to make content out of nothing, I went and got pizza.
Yeah. It's like if you ever get around to watching Tulsa King, it's they got all the landmarks of Tulsa, the 3 things that people know Tulsa for.
Oh, really?
He goes by them for 30 seconds, and it's yep, I guess he filmed in Tulsa for a day.
They're just trying to prove it. We were really here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the magic of editing in Hollywood. I mean, even like something small like this, like, you know, I told you off camera before I launched this podcast, I was really like a student of the game, taking notes on camera angles, stuff like that. And it's amazing how much you can hide off camera or just, you know, magic of curtains and just stuff like that.
Well, you can tell. Yeah, you can't even tell we're in a dungeon right now. You really did a great job.
You'll get your blood sample taken next.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, man, this is pretty cool. So you're like a nerd, I guess, huh?
A little bit.
Or what do you call it? You're super into superheroes and stuff.
Divorce. No, we're talking about. No, yeah, like Marvel is a big thing for me. I mean, my kids and me bond over the MCU and stuff like that. We watch Disney Plus shows and stuff like that. Power Rangers was a big thing for me growing up. I always wanted to be the Green Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he died.
He died?
Yeah, he died like 2 years ago. That was actually a big like push to get me out of my shell during COVID, because like during COVID, like a lot of us hunkered down and, you know, stayed in, and it kind of brought out a lot of the worst in some people as far as like, you know, anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he did a con, the guy that plays the Green Ranger, in Tulsa, and I didn't go. And then like a couple months later, he killed himself or he died. And I regret that.
That's probably your fault.
Yeah.
You should have went, dude.
It's true.
He couldn't handle it.
Damn it, Tommy.
You killed the Green Ranger, bro.
That's what we're going to title this. I killed the Green Ranger. Fuck.
I'm sorry. I'm not into that stuff at all, so maybe I'm being insensitive. Like, I don't know if I just crossed a Power Ranger line or something there.
I mean, there is the Red Ranger that murdered his, I think it was his roommate.
Really?
With a sword. Yeah, like he went full on.
Seems like we should probably investigate the rest of the Rangers.
Yeah.
Because they're probably getting away with shit.
Yeah. I mean, there was even the Netflix, they brought back like the 30th anniversary of Power Rangers or something like that. And this has always been like a kid's show, like a GG, you know, rated G show. In the first 5 minutes, they murder the Yellow Ranger. And it's like, man, Netflix changed some shit, didn't they?
Netflix ruins everything.
Except for your next special, possibly.
Yeah, no, not mine. I don't have anything lined up. But please, Netflix, if you're listening, ruin mine. Yeah, I'll take it. Why? Why not?
Why not?
Right.
So where are you off to next after Tulsa?
After this, I'm going to Las Vegas to the LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere.
Nice.
I'll be there for a week.
Very nice.
Yep.
Tell me a little about how you like on the road so far. Like, I mean, you've been for 16 years, right?
Yeah.
How you like on the road, like as far as this current run right now between Tulsa and going to LA? Or where'd you start this current run? I'm
not really on a run. Since COVID, I've been kind of piecing my career back together because everything kind of reset then.
Okay.
And also, I had cancer, so I was kind of down with that. I had to have my kidney taken out and all that. I'm good now.
Real disturbed, down with the sickness.
Yeah. So,
it was right there.
So I don't have much of a run right now. Right now, I just have a couple of gigs a month, and this month I have Tulsa, and then I'm going to go home for a week. And I have 5 kids at home.
Oh.
I'm just living the family life as much as I can. But I do have a tour coming up, the Article 15 comedy tour.
Nice.
Yeah. That's named after Article 15 is like when you get in trouble in the military.
Okay.
It's like getting sent to the principal's office. You go get in trouble, you lose rank. Because I did a lot of that when I was in the Marines.
Right?
Yeah. So we're doing a tour of VFWs all across the country.
Very nice. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like
getting
that.
it going. I've got like 6 right now, all of them in Texas. I'd like to work my way up this way, Oklahoma, and I have some people wanting me to come to like Little Rock, Arkansas, and Colorado Springs, and I don't want to commit to that yet until I can book some shows, on the way, and really make a tour out of it.
Yeah, I've been to a few comedy shows here, like Sapulpa, Tulsa, and Broken Arrow. I know the VFWs have done supported comedy.
Oh, really?
Here, so that might be something to look into. And if you ever need any contacts around this area or something like that, I can help with that too.
Yeah, I'll definitely hit you up on that.
Yeah, man. That's a great idea. I really like that. Yeah.
I just had this idea. I was like, man, I'm calling around to all these comedy clubs, and I'm competing with every other comic on my level, you know. And they only have a certain amount of weekends in a year, 52, I guess, But then I was thinking, like, my best audience is the military and veterans. That's just kind of been where my path has led me.
Yeah.
Entertaining the troops and everything. And I really like them, and they really love me. And I thought, well, how about a VFW? And then I looked up all the VFW locations, and holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, every little town has one.
Yeah.
There's there's 100 times more VFWs than there ever were comedy clubs.
Yeah, and then there's also a built-in audience with the demographic that's going to go to a VFW.
Right, and comics aren't beating their doors down.
Yeah.
And it's easy. I call them and like, how'd you like to have a comedy night?
Yeah.
I'll keep the door. You guys sell a crap load of drinks, and I'll get a bunch of new people in.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. I'm like, really?
Yeah. And
like I can have the door. Okay, cool.
That's yeah.
Sometimes they want 20%, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
VFWs, man, like people sleep on them all the time, but like between like I'm a big fan of karaoke also.
Yeah.
Like they host karaoke all the time, and they're the friendliest people in VFWs, and like they're always like just looking for people to get more people in there to get the drinks.
Exactly right. People are sleeping on it. They don't know what's in there, you know, because from the outside there's not a lot of signage, and they're not great with advertising.
Yeah.
But inside there is a bar.
Yeah.
There's a full bar in most of them.
Yeah.
With cheaper drinks than in any other place in town.
Yeah.
It's a great place to go pre-flight, you know, before you go out to somewhere else, or you know, they have jukebox and pool tables. They have a lot of them are getting into cornhole.
Yeah.
You know, the beanbag game or
Yeah.
whatever. They have leagues where they meet every week, and it's like huge. I know a guy who is quitting comedy to go pro in
Really?
cornhole. He's going to be a professional cornhole player. I was
Wow.
like, I thought he was joking with me. He's like, no, I'm serious.
Is cornholing like eclipsing frisbee golf?
Yeah, it's like on ESPN Ocho, you know?
ESPN 8, The Ocho, bringing you the finest in seldom seen sports from around the globe since 1999. If it's almost a sport, we've got it here.
It's on TV though, on some of these extended channels.
Yeah,
beanbag toss.
One of the open mics here in Tulsa, like we do open mics on Thursdays, and on Saturdays they have a beanbag toss competition.
Yeah.
And they all have their
That's so
custom
weird.
things and everything like that. Yeah.
It's so weird what gets popular. Like
Yeah.
a childhood game. Like
Yeah.
Pretty soon it's gonna be like the hopscotch Olympics and double Dutch
What was
tournaments.
that? What was that thing in the 90s that was like the electronic hopscotch you could do yourself? Do you remember that one where you put it on your foot and you just
Oh yeah, yeah.
it's like the
Put it on
skip go or something like that?
So skip it, to run, to jump, to hop, skip it, skipping and a screaming and a bop to bop. But the very best thing of all, there's a counter on this ball. So try to beat your very best score. See if you can jump a whole lot more. Skip it, come on everybody, skip it. Roaring good fun from Tiger Toys.
Yeah, it probably was called the skip go.
Yeah.
It was like a little ball and chain. It was just getting all those kids grew up to be on house arrest and have an ankle monitor.
Either that or
Like,
they all
I'm used to
sued the
this.
company after they fell on their faces.
Yeah, maybe.
Just a giant trip hazard by now at Walmart.
The shin killer.
You were talking about like what you have in your history influenced what you're doing as far as your tour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like working on your background and trying to have that incorporated into your comedy. And we talked off camera about incorporating like live video and stuff like that into our comedy as far as live video editing and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was kind of the same way. I was like, what can I do to like kind of set myself apart? And, you know, I'm good at video editing, post-production. Obviously, like the podcasting thing is my big thing.
Yeah.
So that was the natural thing is when I wanted to start doing my own shows, I started trying to figure out how to film that live too. But we did a 5-comedian kind of showcase and I live edited it, 3-camera setup.
That's cool.
And I'm going to try to do that monthly just to be another way. Cause like between the podcast and that, I'm really just trying to be a spotlight for Tulsa. That's all I'm trying to do here. Like I'm not trying to get rich.
Well, dude, we should really talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
Because like I'm saying with my Article 15 comedy tour, if I can get something in your area at a VFW,
Yeah.
it would be great to, you know, let you do your thing there.
Yeah.
Let's get a live recording.
I would love it,
Multiple
man.
cameras, do live switches, audience reactions.
Yeah.
Afterwards, audience testimony. You
Yeah.
know, people being like, "This was a great show."
Yeah.
You know, that would make some great promo for me to really take this thing nationwide.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm not into this to get rich. I built this really to be like I told you off camera. I paid my house off last year. I paid off my car. I tried to go just like full bore into my podcasting and stand up this year, and I'm just trying to see if I can get a couple sponsors on this and pay the bills. If I can pay the bills and just be full time and doing my comedy and trying to grow, that's all I want.
Then you've won.
Yeah.
You've made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People have such a weird idea of what making it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I still have family members that ask me like when are you gonna get a real job, or like how's your little comedy thing going?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like screw you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm supporting my family with it. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. The same way you are, except for I get to be home with my kids.
Yeah.
Except for the weekends, or whatever.
Yeah.
You're working 12 hours a day in a refinery, but you're looking down on me, and I just laugh. I'm like, yeah, what? Yeah, my little skits are going fine. You know. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like, I took a long time to build this, like I told you. And then I launched this February. A week before I put out the first episode, I got into a car wreck. And now I have 2 bulged discs and I have partial paralysis in my arm.
Oh, damn.
And so that happened. I launched the podcast. And like I said, I paid off my stuff, but I'm still trying to keep my bills pretty lean, and keep them down so I can still do as many mics as I can.
Yeah.
Because, you drove here from Tulsa. It was about an hour or so.
Yeah.
I do that about 3 times a week to do these open mics because everything's in Tulsa. There's not really much out here in Bartlesville.
Yeah.
So when I don't have my kids, because I have split custody, I take care of my bills with DoorDash, stuff like that, or freelancing with podcast editing or Photoshop editing and stuff like that. And then I live my dream as trying to make my dream and do stand-up. And, as long as I take care of my responsibilities with my bills, I'm happy.
Yeah. You're doing it, man.
Yeah, man.
You're doing it.
Nobody can tell me wrong.
That's right.
I'm talking about Brian Simpson right now on the air, probably, right? We mentioned that on the air.
I was just mentioning he's Brian's a good friend of mine, and I'm just excited for him. He just recorded his first 1-hour Netflix special. He's been on Netflix before.
Because I saw a flyer on your Facebook with him and with you and him on it.
Yeah.
When I was doing my research on.
Oh yeah. That was an old memory. Like I said, I've known him for a long time. We did a tour a long time ago called the Long Shots of Comedy Tour.
Okay.
And he's the only long shot who actually has made it so far. But, I think we'll all have our turn. We had a great tour. It was me and him and Bijan Mostafavi, who's a name nobody's heard of, but he's hilarious. And
someone struggled to pronounce it even.
Who else? Bijan. I'll have to look at the flyer. Oh, man, I'm making somebody mad right now. One of my great friends. I'm just having a brain fart right now.
I'm glad you're not live streaming it too either.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. That would be really awkward.
Oh well. One less friend. I'll think of it in a minute. Yeah, but I've known Brian since back in San Diego. That's where I got my comedy start. Was in San Diego, California.
Okay.
Started open micing, worked my way up. I was managing a comedy club, Madhouse Comedy Club. I was like talent manager, and that I had a few different roles there.
Yeah. And
Brian was on the open mic, and I went to the owner and I was like, "Hey, take a look at this dude. He's a Marine, like I was a Marine. This and that." And the owner wasn't really paying that much attention to me. He's like, "Yeah, okay, maybe." I was like, no, let's put him on the weekend show. And he's like, no, like, how long has he been doing it? I'm like, I don't know, a year, some change. He's like, well, he's not ready. I'm like, I know he's ready. And I was like the house feature. I was doing the feature spot, the 30-minute spot on the weekends for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, that was part of my agreement, I was working for a certain amount. But anyways, and one day, like, Brian was kind of feeling down. He was working the door. He was a door guy. And I was talking to him, and I was like, man, I'm going to get you in. Don't worry. And it came time to feature. I forget who was the headliner that weekend. But I noticed that there were no other comics around, really. So I went and told the owner, I was like, hey, man, I'm sick, and I'm going home. And he's like, well, who's going to feature? And Brian's standing right there, and I'm just looking at him. I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, all right, bro. Like, he let him do it, and he killed.
Nice.
He murdered. And after that, like, then he was one of the regular features. And then, all the other clubs started paying attention to him. We all encouraged him. He moved to L.A., worked at the Comedy Store for a little bit. David Spade saw him right away, put him on his show. I think that was his first TV appearance. He did, like, a Type 5 on David Spade's show. And then Tom Segura noticed him and took him on the road with him, and he just blew up. It went from there. And now Netflix and Joe Rogan, now he's in the in crowd now.
Yeah. But we talked about it off camera too, like being ready too. Like, he was ready for it too. Like,
yes.
Like you saw, you recognized it.
Yeah. You got to be ready when luck happens, I think is what we said. Because some people are just lucky, or it looks like they're lucky.
Yeah.
Like Matt Rife. a lot of people are hating on Matt Rife right
Yeah.
now. Like, look at him. He's just blown up. It's only because he looks good. Well, no, he's been doing stand-up for like 7 years.
Yeah.
You know,
He
he's
did
ready.
the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, like, I mean, we've talked about him on this podcast too, because like I'm a fan of his as far as like people like I'm never gonna knock anybody that does the work, and like even if it's not your cup of tea or anything like that, if they're doing the work and they're getting successful, like props to them.
Yeah.
Like
just pay attention. Take notes.
yeah, take notes.
Yeah.
They're obviously doing something that's working. But like there's even pictures of him like back in the day being younger, like I think it's at the Comedy Store or something like that, and like he's in the crowd with like watching Eliza Schlesinger and stuff like that, and like. Even back in the day, he was a fan. Like you could tell. Like
Yeah. And a student.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell he's been paying attention. He's been
Yeah.
learning. Now it's his time.
Yeah.
And he's swinging for the fences.
Yeah. And, you know, props to him. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people do the work. They were ready for the opportunities. And, you know, the opportunity happened. And they knocked it out of the fucking park.
Yeah. I mean, and if it helps that he got his teeth fixed and he's good looking and women are paying attention to him, then use that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. If pot-bellied stepdads come into fashion, then it'll be my turn.
I mean, there's hope for, Leo's getting there closer and closer every year.
Who, DiCaprio?
Yeah.
I saw him on the beach in Hawaii one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Him and Tobey Maguire were there together with a supermodel too. And I only noticed, you know, I was just panning around. I had my little video camera. This was like 15 years ago, maybe more than that, maybe. But I'm just panning around and I'm looking and I'm like, that's fucking Spider-Man over there, you know, Tobey Maguire. And I thought he was the only guy. And then and then I looked around and on the blanket, like next to us is Leo.
Oh, shit.
And Gisele Bündchen.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was pretty fat at that time too. Yeah. That's what reminded me of the whole story.
He was just depressed. He never got that
I think
Oscar.
he goes up and down, you know. He
Yeah.
might have been between roles or gaining weight for a role or something.
I mean, he fought that bear finally and got that Oscar.
He had a supermodel.
Yeah.
You know. So
I mean, I'm not going to knock him either. I mean, what is it? Like, what's his track record? They keep getting younger and younger and younger.
oh yeah, with women?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's because he gets richer and richer.
Yep. I mean, want to see the yacht? I mean, that's just...
Yeah, right.
Nah.
By the time he's 80, he's going to be like Epstein Island. Like they're going to be too young.
He's going to turn into Howard Hughes. Like
Maybe.
from The Aviator when he played him when he had
That's
the long
funny. I was going
fingernails.
to say, yeah, he played him.
Hey, fellow hipsters and people that have culture or something. I'm Jared Ralphie Allen, host of Unloading Meat, and we need sponsors for this show. If you identify with this fucked up hat I'm wearing, these shitty tattoos, or any other cultural references that are behind me, reach out to your favorite sponsors and tell them to sponsor the show Unloading Meat. Now, back to acting like I wasn't impressed by anything. I wish this podcast could be on vinyl.
Well, what advice would you have for a new comedian like coming into this? Like, you know, I'm really trying again this year with the podcast stuff like that. What advice would you have for somebody starting out and really trying to?
Okay. So I have all the common advice that everybody gives you.
Okay.
Along with some particular stuff. You know, so the common stuff would be get as much stage time as you can. Do what we've been talking about. Be a student of the craft. Sit and watch other comedians. Keep your mouth shut. Don't heckle them. But sit and watch them. Hang around your local comedy club where the pros are. Go to the shows on the weekends. Usually if you're a comic, you talk to the owner, you know, whatever, they'll let you in for free. They're not going to make you buy a ticket. Go watch what the pros are doing. Learn from them. Sit and watch. Some of the uncommon advice I would give to a new comic starting out is graphic design. Learn and study as much as you can about graphic design, about like what you've been doing, video editing, content creation. I say graphic design because like 10 years ago, I needed money and I knew I could get some money if I went back to school with the GI Bill. So I looked around in San Diego and I was like, I want to find an easy something that I can just go learn, go take the classes and collect this money for housing.
Yeah.
And it was either going to be like a sports massage or graphic design. And graphic design just started
What a
sooner.
choice.
And I was just going to take whatever was starting now.
Yeah.
And I got into graphic design school and I went in, you just like whatever, you know, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. and holy crap, it was everything I needed to know about being a comedian. It was like one of the first graphic design assignments they gave us was to make an album cover for a CD, and you had to make it in all the different formats for the iTunes art and for the album cover and for the inside flap and all of this. And I was making CDs at the time.
Yeah.
And I had an album that I had self-recorded, and I didn't know what to do with it. So it helped me figure out how to publish that and make it look legit. And then it was how to make a website. We had to build a website for an assignment. So I made myself a website. I made erikknowles.com and made my stuff available and had a shop and all of this. And I was just learning everything I needed to know. Flyers, posters, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Printing. And it was all so interesting. We learned, we had a whole semester on typography, which is fonts. We learned about fonts. I remember one day I went into school and they were like, today we're going to watch an hour-and-a-half documentary on Helvetica. And I was like,
wow.
Oh, my God, this is going to be so stupid. And I challenge anybody. You can look at it on YouTube. It's called Helvetica, the documentary called Helvetica, and how that font has impacted social structure and how impactful it is on society. And it is one of the most awesome, thought-provoking documentaries you will ever watch. It's so cool. It's like, wow, Helvetica's everywhere.
Well, after 16 years in the business, are you going to make one called Comic Sans?
No, that's the worst one, too. I hate that. I'm going to make one called New Comic Sans, maybe. Yeah. But, we learned just about kerning. Kerning is the space between the letters. With certain, you just type things on a website or on a flyer and it just puts your letters there.
Yeah.
But if you can adjust the space between them so that the letters fit together better, it's way more aesthetically pleasing. And there's a lot of benefits because of that.
Yeah.
You can lead the eye across everything. We learned so much stuff just about promoting yourself and branding yourself. I learned how to brand myself through graphic design just accidentally.
I'm so glad that you mentioned all this because like we talked about it before, is like I'm really trying to be a student of the game. Like I have my notepad out, like when I'm watching Your Mom's House or Tiger Belly or anything like that, like I'm taking notes and stuff like that, camera angles and branding, how to push, present stuff on camera and stuff like that. It took me about 2 years to build the Unloading Meat name and the brand, the logo I got. I
was going to ask, how'd you come up with that name? What is Unloading Meat?
I'll tell you after your live stream because it's a hidden thing. It's an inside joke.
Okay. Inside joke. Okay.
Yeah, it's an inside joke for the camera or for the show. But yeah, it's a inside joke.
I thought maybe it was like a sexual thing, like I unloaded my meat on this girl.
It can be.
Yeah, it could be.
I even have a theme song for it. Like I have a rap theme song that we wrote for it. Like it's been around for like 10, 15 years, but it just eventually became my brand. And I own UnloadingMeat.com. Like I bought the URL. Like I'm just trying to get all as a brand built as I did the stand up.
It sounds very Adult Swim, like something you would hear there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like it's
next
catchy.
week on Unloading Meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just it's something it's like an earworm. It's catchy a little bit.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
It could be provocative. It could be whatever you want it to be.
I can dig it.
You dig Unloading Meat.
Well, maybe. I'd try it once.
Try anything once, right here on Unloading Meat. So man, thank you for that advice. I really appreciate that.
You bet.
Because not only is this show like a spotlight, like I said, for just like Tulsa comedy and Tulsa entertainers and stuff like that, but I also I'm like I said, a student of the game. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to be humble and just keep doing the work. And it's nice to hear that advice and nice to know that the things that I'm doing that are kind of working towards that.
Yeah. Well, that's the attitude. That's the attitude that we should take with anything. We should just be a student of life. Too many times we go through life and situations with. I see this attitude of like, I already know that. I already know that. You can't. Oh, really? You're telling me? Like, oh, okay, Mr. Miyagi, you fucking know everything.
Yeah.
That's such an ignorant take.
Yeah, and it's such a small view of the world kind of thing. Like,
it's very limiting.
Yeah.
Like so you're topped off on knowledge. You don't need to know anything.
Where do you go
else.
from here?
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that, because tomorrow everything changes.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like I'll equate it to like I have this. There's an older gentleman that's a friend of the family, and like he was pissed off because like McDonald's is all digital now. Like you have to do it through the app, or you have to go up there and do the touchscreen. And he was like, "Well, I went up there and I asked that waitress to come up there. I was like, why don't you do your job and get me my order right now and stuff?" And they were all pissed off because I was being rude to them. But I'm just telling them to do their job, and I'm like, that's not how McDonald's is in 2023 anymore. Times have changed.
Yeah.
Like you gotta advance with it, man. Like it's not 1995 McDonald's anymore. Same diarrhea. But
True. Which kind of leads me to, let me ask you this. What do you think of AI? Like, do you use AI for anything?
I've used it for some like photos, as far as like just generating things, stuff like that, but not for like writing material or anything like that. But like
Oh yeah, no.
It was more like, I don't know, I'm not scared of it. It was the thought that people are scared of.
Yeah, I've used AI for making some show posters. Like I did one for Mothership that looked really cool. It actually did too good of a job because I was just doing a spot.
Yeah.
On one of the shows on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, I want to make myself a poster.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh wow, dude, you're headlining Mothership now?" And I was like, No, I just made a poster.
Yeah.
Because it looked just like what they would make.
Oh, nice.
It looked just like, it was me on an alien spaceship with green aliens all around me laughing at my jokes. And it looked just like something they would do.
Yeah.
And it was almost too good because I was like, I'm not trying to, I had to make a statement, a public statement of like, I'm just doing a spot. I made a thing and it just looked real good. I'm not trying to claim that I'm headlining at a place that I'm not. You know, I didn't want Mothership to be mad at me.
Yeah.
And actually just yesterday, for the very first time, I got on with ChatGPT, which I've always been kind of weirded out about.
Yeah.
Just because it's creepy to me. It's almost like talking to a Ouija board.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But I talked to it and I asked it to write me a joke. I was like, "Do you know who I am?" And it's like, "No, who are you?" I said, "Well, I'm comedian Erik Knowles. You know about that?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, wow, yeah. Erik Knowles is a comedian. He does this and this and that." I said, "Yeah, that's me." And they're like, "Well, it's nice to meet you. It's very cool." And I was like, "Do you think you could write a joke in my voice?" And it's like, "Sure, I could try." I was like, "Oh shit." So I'm like, "All right, what do you think I would say about Oliver Anthony and his new song Rich Men North of Richmond?" Just something topical.
Yeah.
And it wrote out this whole thing and I'm reading it. I'm like, that is kind of like something I would say. Like I could do better, but that's weird.
Yeah. It's kind of creepy. It's like,
I don't like that idea.
Yeah.
Because what if I used a joke that AI wrote for me? What if it wrote me a whole hour and I used it and it blew up? Now, how would I feel? It's not me.
Well, not only that, but like an AI like that, like even ChatGPT, if you know the inside workings of it, it's just basically using search engines and whatever you put into it. And like if you say, "Tell me a joke in this style," it's doing like everything on the internet that means joke. So it's possibly just grabbing other jokes from other comedians and stuff that are already online. And it's just stealing those and putting them in your thing too. So you wouldn't even know.
I don't know.
Because it's just going off a
Now,
giant search
I
engine.
understand that's what they say it is.
Yeah.
But who knows if that's the truth?
True.
What if it's demons? Like, what if it's aliens? Like, I don't know, man.
It's just
It's such a weird world we live in right now.
Gary, Paul, and Tom. They're in. No, like, my only experience between like stand up and ChatGPT is I did this show once and it was like a Dungeons and Dragons themed show they had, and they like you roll a dice and every time there's a consequence. And basically, I had to give it my last 2 minutes because they replaced it with a ChatGPT story of a lumberjack, and I had to make it funny.
Oh.
And they were just like ChatGPT lumberjack jokes, and it spit out a paragraph, and then I had to read it and try to like make it funny, and it worked. I mean, I was just like, I don't know very many lumberjack jokes, but ChatGPT did. It's probably Paul.
But the implications of this ChatGPT being able to mimic certain people, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Because I saw a clip from Joe Rogan with Post Malone, and Post Malone was talking about how AI can make songs that sound like whoever you want it to.
Yeah.
Which I've heard, like the Johnny Cash version of this, or like Johnny Cash doing Snoop Dogg, you know, and it sounds just like him.
Yeah.
And so Post Malone is saying, what sucks is, what if a person loves Post Malone and they ask ChatGPT, make me a song by Post Malone about what I'm going through with this and use these names and these dates, and then ChatGPT can make you a song specifically for you, perfectly for you, about you, that'll connect with you, sung by your favorite artist.
Yeah.
So then pretty soon we don't need artists.
Yeah. It's gonna put Kanye.
ChatGPT can make us whatever we want. Hey,
It's
ChatGPT, let me hear an hour of what George Carlin would think about pronouns. You know, wouldn't we love to hear that?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we love to hear what Uncle George has to say about 2023?
That starts to sound like a little bastardization of George Carlin, though, a little bit, in my opinion, though. I mean, it's an enlightening kind of thing, but it's not
but
truly him.
Yeah, but yeah, for us, because we're artists
Yeah.
and we enjoy the pure form of the art, we're purists, but most people don't give a shit.
Nope.
Nobody cared that Carlos Mencia was doing other people's jokes.
Nope.
They were like, well, it's funny.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, because it's turned out the entertainment.
Most Americans will be just perfectly happy with having an AI version of all of this art that we're so proud of creating.
Well, it's kind of like what's going on with like the writer's strike and the actor's strike. Like, I mean, I'm sure have you seen the stuff about like digi doubles and stuff like that? As
No.
far as like,
I haven't paid too much attention to
okay, so a lot of extras are like the whole basically job of extras is pretty much on the line right now.
Oh.
Because there's contracts and stuff going out where they're like, oh, you want to be an extra on this show, like this Marvel movie or whatever? Come in for one day. We'll digitally scan you, pay you whatever just for that day, and then we own your likeness, and we can put you in any movie we want and just put you as an extra wherever we want.
No.
And that's what they're trying to do now. And
That's great for their business.
Yeah. Because they're already doing it. Like every Hollywood movie has digi doubles. Like if you watch a show, there's a YouTube channel called Corridor Crew, and they go through like Hollywood stunts and CGI, and they kind of break them down in like a comical way. And pretty much every blockbuster has a digi double. They have the actors scan them, and then they can put them anywhere they want for like CGI and
Copy
special
and
effects.
paste the crowd in the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of dawned on Hollywood one day, well, we could do this with everybody, and we could just own them, and we can just do it.
Clone stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what is happening right now, and a lot of the actors and stuff like that are trying to strike against that shit.
It gets spooky.
Yeah.
It gets really shitty. I think we need to kill the computer.
Yeah.
We
Start
need to-
over.
We need to kill the robots.
At least let me get verified first. At least let me get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube first, man.
I don't know, man. We're all going to be replaced.
It's true.
All of us, from artists to burger flippers,
It's true.
podcast hosts.
Yeah. Sandwich artists, your time is now.
Yeah. No, we still need women.
Jesus.
Hey-oh, sexism.
Speaking of Subway, that was sandwich artists. Did you see that Subway got bought out by the company that owns Jimmy John's?
No.
Yeah, Subway is officially owned by Jimmy John's now. I didn't see that coming.
And they're basically the same thing, right? They're
Yeah.
just two sandwich shops.
Yeah. Subway though has a lot
So
of
is
shitty
Subway
stuff.
going to become Jimmy John's?
They already announced like this month it took them like what 30 years or 50 years, whatever long Subway's been in business, but
Yeah.
like they're finally going to start fresh cutting meat.
Dude, Subway should have been gone years ago.
I know.
As soon as we found out Jared was fucking kids, like we'll boycott shit
Yeah.
for stupid ass reasons, but like this guy's fucking kids, and we're still like, well, $5 footlong, it's a good
Yep.
deal.
Yeah, that's why I don't go into a
There
Subway
was some
with a name like
scandal
Jared.
where they were like putting the same material as yoga mats in their bread. Do you remember hearing
Yep.
something like that?
Yep.
Nothing stopped us.
Yeah, and
from
then
going
like
to Subway.
Europe made them classify their bread as not bread as a dessert because it had too much sugar in it. It wasn't classified as legally as bread
Damn.
because there was too much sugar in it.
All right, so we need to kill the robots, and we need to kill who? The corporations, I guess.
I mean, what are we gonna be left with?
I don't know.
Nature.
See, I like this. I like pretend robots, pretend magic.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like when it creeps into the real world.
I don't know. Just let me live long enough to where I can see a real life transformer. I just want to see like an actual like Optimus Prime once. I mean, it can be hydraulically powered. I don't care. Just make it happen.
I'm sure we have something like that, don't we?
We getting close.
Or does it need to be like sentient?
Oh, I don't want to go back in the chat. We can just put Chat GPT on that.
Yeah. No, that's another bad idea, dude.
Chat Bumblebee.
No. Just do the one that's a radio. What's his name?
Oh, Soundwave.
Soundwave.
Yeah.
I was
Freaking
going to say
boombox.
boombox. Yeah. What's his name? Ghetto Blaster.
There's a few of those. Like I have him behind you, like somewhere up there. And then like there's the one that's the funniest one to me. I have him still up there. It's 3 Transformers that go together to make a fucking camera. Yeah. It's like that's the most useless thing. It took 3 of you to shrink down to be one camera.
I remember this stuff from when I was a kid. You know, I loved the Transformers. I
Yeah.
was super into that. Remember Voltron?
Yeah.
That was basically those were Transformers.
Pretty
right?
much, yeah.
Is that Voltron?
That's his Power Rangers. Similar.
Same kind of shit.
Similar, yeah.
Right? It's
Well, I mean, even Power Rangers and
like
Voltron.
little robots that come together to form one big
robot. Yeah. One mega robot.
one.
I mean, Voltron and Power Rangers are all from Japan. They just got imported and then they got redubbed over here. I mean, that's really what I came on to was cheap.
Japan's imagination is so different from anywhere else in the
Yeah.
world.
We can, like, I mean, they can make up all this, but you can't show, genitals.
Yeah.
You gotta blur out that shit.
I wonder why they do that. It's manners to them.
Yeah.
Though they have really good manners.
Yeah.
You know.
Except they sell used girls' panties and fucking vending machines.
Right, but they do it respectfully.
I mean, they were just ahead of the OnlyFans craze.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've been doing that for years.
Yeah.
They were doing it through the mail.
And now we do it one bride at a time.
Yeah. Now it's just a click away.
And then they have the weird thing with KFC. I don't know if you know about that with Japan.
No.
KFC is the national thing people eat in Japan on Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Japan, it has this weird fascination with American culture, but through the eyes of it's kind of like that game of what was that game where you whispered all the time?
Telephone.
Telephone.
Yeah.
It's like it's been through the telephone too many times. So they observed us with Thanksgiving back in the day. This is like 70s or 60s or 70s. They observed us with Thanksgiving and the turkey and stuff.
Yeah.
And they equated that to Americans around holiday times eat a turkey and stuff. Well, what's the closest thing? Fried chicken from KFC.
That's the closest thing they have.
That was
in
the
Japan?
closest thing. So
to a baked turkey?
Yeah. So some Japanese advertiser did that, and it was like, this is the Christmas meal from KFC in Japan, and it went huge in Japan and it became a staple.
Now that's what they do?
Yeah. So on Christmas they eat KFC.
I would rather eat KFC than I hate turkey.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I hate turkey too.
It's too big.
I like all the
It's
fixins.
a
I like
big pain in the ass.
I like everything around it.
I eat most of the sides.
Yeah.
Give me the mashed potatoes and the homemade mac and cheese.
Yeah, because what do you do with all the leftovers the next day? Everything else you pretty much eat the same way, but the turkey you're like, okay, I guess I can put it in a sandwich.
I hate when people
I
are-
could put it in something else. It's like, God damn it, I'm sick of this turkey.
I hate when people try to sell it on you. But then you get to have turkey sandwiches for 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds not like good food.
No.
I'd rather have a meal.
Yeah.
If I want, oh, hell no.
I think it's just, it's the fucking butterball
I hate when
industry.
they try to unload meat on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just trying to unload their turkey.
Yeah, it needs to be consensual.
Yeah.
Consensually unload your meat, guys.
Yeah. Consensual meat transactions. That's the moral of this story.
I love that you're live streaming that right now. What was some of your childhood stuff like growing up? Like, what were you into?
What was I into? G.I. Joe, a whole lot. Only because, this is really cool. Like, we were kind of poor for a few Christmases, and some family signed us up for this thing. It was like, sign up a poor family that needs stuff. And they had like a toy drive. And a toy store, maybe Toys R Us or something, but they knew that they found out I loved G.I. Joe. I got every G.I. Joe thing that was for sale that year. I got the Cobra Command Center. I got all the trucks, the Jeeps. I got every action figure. I got the whole collection for from 1984 or 1985, whatever year that was. And man, if I had known to just keep that.
That
you
was
know?
worth a fortune.
Yeah.
Even that Code Breaker Man thing, I've seen like people do toy vlogs and shit. That's worth a fortune.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
Well, like I talk about like this is a toy. I'm big into the toys and stuff, and we talked off camera like during COVID. That's how I pay my bills. But like I've said it before. I'm trying to model my stand-up career a lot like how independent pro wrestlers work their careers right now.
How's that?
So like I'm a big pro wrestler, and there's a company called AEW. It's a really cool company. It's on TNT and
You're
TBS.
a pro wrestler?
I'm a pro wrestling fan. I'm sorry.
Fan. Okay.
I've been smoking my vape. I'm a little high.
You never know. I have to ask.
That's true. But yeah, I'm a pro wrestling fan, and the independent pro wrestlers are very similar to stand-up comics, in my opinion. They're all about making a brand, getting your name out there. They're trying to do as many spots as they possibly can. Sometimes they're doing it for like a hot dog and a handshake. They're just doing it to get the.
Do they have like wrestling open mics?
Well, they basically just go to different spots and they try to get booked, and they just, they can go in tag matches and stuff like that. It's kind of who you know, and a lot of the times it's about just networking, going to these spots, not necessarily getting paid.
Right. Sometimes you just got to know the right people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of independent pro wrestlers that are like doing toy vlogs, or they go and like they do travel vlogs, and they're just getting an audience built as they're trying to do their work. And I see a lot of similarities with that with stand up. And so I started doing that, or trying to take those kind of things here. And I see there's a popular pro wrestler named Ethan Page, and he does a toy vlog where every city they go to with AEW, he has the wrestlers come in, and they go to like vintage toy malls and stuff like that, and he just interviews the wrestlers. What did you like growing up? And
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and he's just interviewing the other wrestlers and just doing a travel vlog.
That's
week
what
after week.
That's the key, is to try without trying too hard.
Yeah.
Take something that you're already interested in, something that you already have a bunch of knowledge in, like you've done here with the toy flipping.
Yeah.
And just use that and just dive into that.
Yeah.
And let other people with like interests find you.
Yeah.
I made so many mistakes in my career, trying to get people's attention, trying to do what other people are doing, and I was always like one step behind. When I first started, Dane Cook blew up on MySpace, and I was studying Dane Cook. Like, what did Dane Cook do? All right, well, I'm going to do the same thing, and I did pretty well.
Yeah.
But by the time I got up to speed on MySpace, Facebook came along, and I was like, I'm not going to Facebook. No, I'm staying here on MySpace. There was kind of that camp of like, we're not doing it, and yes, we are. And obviously, Facebook won until it was just me and Tom and Tila Tequila on MySpace.
Shout out Tila Tequila.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to shout out Tequila.
And then Facebook, and then Twitter, and I'm like, I'm not getting on Twitter, and okay, yes, I will, but then it's too late. And now, and Facebook, now Facebook is just for old people. And you got to get on TikTok.
Or Tulsa Comedy.
And the last year or two, I've been treading water on TikTok, because I'm too old for. Every time I go live, people are in the comments like, cringe. I'm like, fuck you, get off my lawn, get the hell out of here, you damn kids. Now there's this new thing, Clapper. Have you heard of Clapper?
No.
So it's just like TikTok. It's a copy.
That sounds like something you get when you drink the water in Mexico.
Right. No, but I'm loving Clapper, actually, because it's just like TikTok. It looks and acts just like it, but it's easier.
Okay.
You don't need 1,000 friends to go live. You can go live right away. I just tried it out on the drive up here. I uploaded, while I was driving, a couple of videos that I already had on TikTok. I just moved them over to Clapper.
Yeah.
And I checked it a few hours later when I got here, and they had 3 times as many views as the ones that have been on TikTok for weeks.
Yeah.
And these have been here for like a few hours. So I'm getting a lot more plays, a lot more looks on Clapper, and it's American-owned. It's not selling everything to China.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is, and we just don't know yet.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
I just watched the damn. There's a documentary on Max now called Telemarketers, and it's about the people that just did all the telemarketing for the Fraternal Order of Police in like New Jersey and stuff, and it's just a big scam. Like they call me like, hey, if you donate with this gold package, you'll get this sticker saying that you support the Fraternal Order of Police,
right?
And all the proceeds go to the charity and to the Fraternal Order, and it was maybe like 10 grand a year would go to them, and like 7.5 million would just stay with the charity.
Damn.
And it was like these two guys. It's a 3-part series on Max, and it's two guys that were like, "This is shady. We're working here," because they were hiring ex-cons, murderers, and all this stuff. And like, you would have no idea they're representing the police. And there's even this one dude.
I love that. Why do I love that?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at him.
Wait till you see
Good.
episode 2. Episode 2, there's this dude who was a convicted murderer. Like, he stabbed somebody and killed them.
Yeah.
And he is just the best guy at getting donations for the cops. And every time he's hitting mute, he's like, "I hope you fucking die. I hope you fucking die." Like, every time he hits the mute, he is just talking about murdering them out loud.
Wow.
And he's like the number one guy that's getting all the donations. And they're all working from home. And it's one of those things where, like, nobody in the government is taking it down. Nobody in the police unions are taking it down. FTC, nobody, because they took it down once and then they just make another company. And it's just a whack-a-mole game.
Yeah.
And they just kind of just gave up. And so it's just a free Wild West right now.
I wonder if I can get in on that. That might be a nice little side hustle.
Yeah. Just telemarketing for...
I live in the South. A lot of people like to support the cops.
Yeah. Well, the last thing that they do in the documentary they show is like the last name that they chose. They actually named their company the Fraternal Order of Florida Police or something like that. So it's actually a company they call Fraternal Order of Police, but it's just telemarketers. They have no
Wow.
association with the cops or anything. They just name their business like that so they can act like the police.
So they're getting huge donations for stickers.
Yeah.
They mail them a sticker.
Yeah, they sell stickers basically,
Love it.
and they get old people out of their pensions and their retirement and stuff like that, and they scare them by basically,
And people will buy those because you probably feel like if you have that sticker on your car and you get pulled over, you're more likely that they're going to give you a break.
that's what they lean towards. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Maybe the thin blue line sticker,
Yep.
that type of shit.
Yep.
I have the veteran sticker, Iraqi freedom veteran
Yeah.
sticker on the back. Not because I did anything great over there, but just because every now and then I'll get pulled over and get a break.
Yeah.
I got pulled over with weed one time at a Border Patrol checkpoint down in South Texas. I didn't realize that I was going to have to stop at it. But anyways, I'm in the line. It's too late. And I had a little bit
Yeah.
in the trunk.
Yeah.
No big deal. But they got the dog out, and he's walking
Oh,
around.
shit.
And goes past my car and starts barking. And I'm like, oh, shit, And I've always had really great luck with cops anyway.
Yeah.
I call myself the cop whisperer. I know how to talk to them. And my strategy is just honesty. If you can shock a cop by starting off with huge honesty.
Yeah.
Like, why I pulled you over? Yeah, I tried to run that light, but I didn't make it.
Yeah.
Just laugh. They'll be like, hey, you're right. Thanks for your honesty.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. Just like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I did here. The guy's like, he comes, they pull me off to the side. The guy, he sees my sticker, I guess, because he goes, Marine Corps, huh? I said, yeah. He's like, so you wouldn't happen to have any marijuana in the car, would you? I said, yeah. I got about maybe 2 grams in the back, and a pipe. He's like, well, okay. When's the last time you smoked? I was like, well, maybe last night around 10 o'clock. I only smoke a little bit before I go to bed just to keep the dreams from happening,
Yeah, I see how you leaned into that. I see how you leaned into that.
He goes, all right, have a nice day. I was like, woohoo! I don't have bad dreams, bitch.
I was just waiting for him to say, like, thank you for your service.
Yeah, no, I think he was a Marine too.
Oh,
he
nice.
was a veteran too.
He wasn't from the Navy?
Mm.
I heard your Navy joke on one of your shows.
Thanks for letting me go.
Oh man, like I don't know, like Oklahoma is weed's legal now here for at least for
Medicinally, yeah.
which just means hey, I have cough.
Anybody can get one.
Yeah. It's just a grocery store for weed when you go into them now. I mean, it's nuts.
I miss smoking weed.
You don't do it anymore?
Well, I'm on probation.
Oh, okay.
I got a DWI like a little over a year ago. I'm almost done with probation. I got till next month.
Nice.
Yeah. Then so next time I come, I'll be like, yeah. Yeah, man, toys.
Not so much like I don't want to make a podcast that's just all about this nerdy stuff. It's more just about like I said, just my hobby, and everybody has a nice
You have all this
yeah.
stuff, so you need something.
It's
to
nice set
decorate
design,
with.
yeah.
Yeah.
Built-in set design.
Huh. I could do the same thing probably, just with all the toys that my kids leave on the floor.
True. Oh, you didn't see all the ones that I picked up before you got here. I got 2 girls. Yeah, their rooms are all.
Yeah. We actually just gave our kids the ultimatum. My wife is at home this weekend, and we've been telling them all week, pick up your room, pick everything up, because whatever's on the floor this weekend is going in the trash. And I don't know if my wife's really got the balls to do it, but I told her, hey, I back you up. I don't care. Throw it all away.
Yeah.
If it looks expensive, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They don't deserve it.
Yeah, it's going to be a very painful thing to step on.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Legos. Ugh. My favorite right now is like my daughter's into the Barbies and like the Monster Highs and stuff and all their little heels and all their little jewelry and stuff like that.
Oh, yes.
You step on that shit and it's worse than any Lego you'll ever
Yeah.
feel. Oh, my God.
I hate to buy my kids anything with a lot of small pieces.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, get them a board.
Yeah, I'm not worried about you choking. Like, they're smart enough for that. It's just more just like, God damn, I don't want to step on this shit.
Yep.
Yeah, just give them a piece of paper, some drawing. I don't know.
Dude, how old are your kids?
6 and 12. Or
Oh,
7
okay.
and 12.
Yeah. I have a
Set a birthday.
6-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy, and a 15-year-old stepdaughter, 16, 17, something like that. But, man, just yesterday, like, it's so scary raising kids in this world.
Yeah.
You know, my son, who's 10, is really, like, curious about vapes and smoking and all of that. Like, gets leaves and tries to make a cigarette, and I've caught him doing stupid shit like that.
Yeah.
Caught him with a vape. He brought a vape to school and got in trouble. And just yesterday, a 15-year-old kid in my little hometown, this sucks so bad. He got a hold of a vape somebody gave him that was laced with fentanyl, and it killed him.
Oh, shit.
Foaming at the mouth, it dropped dead. Who's putting fentanyl in a vape? Why?
I don't even know where you get fentanyl just to have. Like,
I know.
It's like,
is it only to kill people?
yeah. I don't know.
Never heard anybody be like, let's go get high on fentanyl.
Yeah.
It'd be great. I love fentanyl. No, it's just always like, oh, somebody put fentanyl in something else, and there was fentanyl in the Coke, and they all died, or whatever.
Yeah.
Fentanyl is just poison?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know where you get it so easily. Where it's
Who's
like,
buying it?
Yeah, why is fentanyl so much easier to get than the fucking like cough medicine?
Why is it a
you get
thing?
Yeah.
They say it's the biggest thing coming over the border right now, being smuggled in, way more than Coke ever was, and weed, and there's enough fentanyl to kill every human. What the? Why?
Because they're cutting it all with that. They're mixing.
There
all
needs
that
to be a
shit.
huge
Yeah.
investigation on that. Like, who's making it?
Yeah.
Where's it coming from? There's got to be one Dr. Evil behind this whole thing, you know? Something.
Finger up his cat's ass. I don't know.
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
It's probably Matt Rife.
It is Matt Rife. That's
Matt
the
Rife's
moral of the
making
story.
fentanyl.
It's Matt Rife. That's what
Yeah,
makes him look so youthful and
stupid,
young.
talented, handsome son of a bitch.
He has an immunity to it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure he does.
That's what makes him only look youthful.
He's actually 85 years old.
He fentanyl overdosed and woke up.
I only said that to make a callback, just
That's
from
fine.
whatever.
Well, man, we've been talking for almost an hour now.
All right. I'm good if you're good.
I'm pretty good, man. Where can everybody find you at if they want to if they want to book the great?
Well, they can email me.
Okay.
I'm old school.
Nice.
All right. Erik Knowles Comedy at gmail.com. Erik with a K. Knowles like Beyonce. Knowles. Erik Knowles Comedy at gmail.com for booking. If you want to see what I'm doing and see some of my stuff, just look up that name on whatever is your favorite social media. I'm
Very
on all
nice.
that stuff.
And you got any shows coming up? I know you're getting ready to go to Vegas. This will come out in about a month. So
Yeah, I think I'll already be done with Las Vegas, which is in like next week or 2 weeks. But I do have, I'll be in Laughlin, Nevada at the LA Comedy Club, their new sister club in Laughlin, Nevada. Well, one of the hotels there. That's October 25th or somewhere that week, somewhere right there. Check the website for that.
I can put it up in post. Right
Also, I have my tour, my comedy tour, the Article 15 comedy tour. We are touring VFWs. We're only in Texas so far, but I want to go nationwide. So wherever you're watching, our goal for the Article 15 comedy tour is to bring new faces into the VFWs in your small town and support local veteran communities.
Nice.
So if you want us to come to your town, it's easy to do. Just get a hold of me, and I will contact the local VFW in your town and see if we can make it happen.
Yeah, man. Well, when you get that going, like I said, there's a lot of VFWs I know that already do comedy around this area. Reach out and let's see if we can make something
I
happen.
definitely want to know about that.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you so much for being here. It's been a great honor to have you come on here. You're my first person on the couch. It's like an actual touring comedian. That's like the goal. Like I told you beforehand, I was like, I want to have everybody that comes through Tulsa stop in and just have a great chat. And as I get better and try to, improve my craft to stand up, I like to rack you guys' brains and get lessons and also help out my viewers as far as, tips and tricks of like, just how to improve.
Absolutely.
So, man, thank you so much for coming on Unloading Meat. It's been a pleasure. The great Erik Knowles. I've been Jared Ralphie Allen. Peace, guys.
Unloading the meat.